What's up guys, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and we've got here the brand new iPad mini 5th generation, one of the first unboxings on YouTube, so a thumbs up for that would be appreciated. And alongside that, we've also got the Apple Pencil Generation 1, which the new iPad mini is compatible with, so we'll be checking that out too. Let's go ahead, get it unboxed and go through all of its features. So at the front of the box, we do have an image of the side of the iPad mini, and that's to show how thin this is. It's still 6.1 millimeters. Let's go ahead and get this open. You'll also notice that I've got the gold version. It is available in a space gray as well as a silver. Here it is. We're just gonna put that to the side for a second to see what else we get inside the box. All the usual stuff here. We've got some paperwork. We've got some Apple stickers in white. I would have preferred if they were gold. But anyway, we've got a power brick, and then we've got a USB Type-A to Lightning cable. So we don't have USB Type-C like the iPad Pro. And I've also got a SIM card ejector tool, and that's because I've got the Wi-Fi and Cellular version. If you get the Wi-Fi only version, you probably won't be getting this. Right, now let's get the iPad mini out of the plastic. Whew. There it is, nice and fresh. Now you'll notice that we do have an antenna line here at the back, and that is because this is the cellular version. If you go for the Wi-Fi only version, I don't believe you'll have that. And in terms of the physical dimensions and overall design, it's pretty much identical to the previous generation iPad mini. And that does mean that most of your accessories and things should still work with this, but Apple have told me that the volume buttons in the camera have moved slightly, so you might want to double check that. Now taking a look at the front, we do have a 7.9-inch True Tone display, and this does have a pretty high pixel density for a tablet, which is 326 ppi, and I believe that's the highest pixel density on any iPad. And I know a lot of you guys are straight away going to be talking about the bezels. We do have the same screen to body ratio as last time, and we do have these pretty big bezels on the top and bottom. I do wish that we had smaller bezels like we've got on the iPad Pro. I'm assuming Apple have not included these to keep the price of the iPad mini down. You may also be thinking 7.9 inches, that doesn't seem too big, especially in comparison to something like the iPhone XS Max, which has a 6.5-inch display. But you do have to bear in mind the different aspect ratios of these displays. We've got, I think, 3:4 on the iPad mini, and it is a lot more narrower on the iPhone XS Max. So you are getting, in terms of real estate, almost double the screen size on the iPad mini in comparison here. Now it is still pretty compact overall. You can see that I can hold it with one hand and use it with my other hand, or I can also use the Apple Pencil. Now this is the Apple Pencil Generation 1, and you are gonna have to buy this separately. So unfortunately, we don't have support for the Apple Pencil 2. And just testing out the Apple Pencil in Procreate, you can see that it works pretty well as expected. Now, support for the Apple Pencil Generation 1 does unfortunately mean that you're gonna have to charge it like this using the Lightning connector. You guys know that I'm definitely not a fan of this method of charging, and I do wish that the iPad mini 2 supported the Apple Pencil 2 and the wireless charging. I do have the Apple Pencil 2 here, but there's no way to actually sync it and connect it to the iPad mini 2. So if you do have an iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil 2, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to also use it on the iPad mini. Now, if you continue to take a look around the iPad mini, at the front here, we do have a 7-megapixel front-facing camera with an f2.2 aperture. This doesn't have all the fancy portrait mode effects that you've got on the iPad Pro. And then we've got Touch ID. So Face ID is not here. There is this physical button for Touch ID, and it works really, really well as expected. On the left-hand side, we've got nothing. On the bottom, there is a Lightning connector with 2 bottom-firing stereo speakers. They are only bottom firing, so we don't have any on the top. And on the top, we've got the power button as well as a 3.5mm jack. So this is something that we don't have on the iPad Pro, and we do have here on the iPad mini, so something a lot of you guys will probably like. And on the right hand side, you've got some volume buttons at the top, and then there is a SIM card tray here, and that is because, once again, this is the cellular version. You're not going to have this on the Wi-Fi only version. Finally, looking at the back, of course, we've got the shiny Apple logo in the middle, and then we've got an 8-megapixel camera with an f2.4 aperture. Now, although you probably won't be using this camera to take pictures and things like that, I don't know many people who actually use their iPads to take pictures, but the interesting thing is that the iPad mini does come with Apple's A12 Bionic chip. Now, I think this is probably the biggest selling point of this iPad. The fact that you are getting that very, very powerful chip, which we have on the iPhone XS as well as the XS Max. And that is, of course, one of the fastest mobile chipsets out there, which means speed and performance on the iPad mini is going to be absolutely great. But on top of that, you are going to get lots of AR features. AR features, of course, Apple very big on those. Alongside this camera, that is going to allow some of those advanced AR features that the iPad mini is going to be completely capable of. Apart from that, you can get up to 10 hours of battery life, and it weighs around 300 grams, so it's very similar to what we had in the previous generation. Because of its size and weight, it is very, very compact. Finally, price. Now, this is going to be starting at £400 or $400 for the Wi-Fi only 64GB base model, and there is also a 256GB variant, and of course you can also get cellular. Those are going to be at higher prices. In terms of my first impressions, as mentioned, I would have liked to have seen smaller bezels, as well as the Apple Pencil Generation 2 support, especially because of the charging method of this. Yes, you can charge it with a wire, but I just wish that you could have charged it wirelessly. Having said that, this device does have the Apple A12 Bionic chip for the price of £400. So this is going to be the cheapest Apple device that you can pick up that has the Apple A12 Bionic chip, and to me that's pretty impressive. And I believe that does make the iPad mini the most powerful tablet in this price range. A lot of the Android tablets that are priced similarly do have older processors, and with the A12 Bionic chip, it's going to mean that you're going to get very smooth performance, and also you're going to get a longer lifespan. That's what I think anyway. What do you guys think? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications, because we've got lots more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.